something. I am looking to see if Kick is working now. That's a new thing that's going on. I don't. I've never used Kick before, but I heard it was good. And I'm pretty sure I'm streaming, but I'm not really sure. I'm not entirely sure.
And how many?
Good. No? Off next. Stream info? No? So how do you stream? What's up? Is that Steven? Always my bro, Steven. I got a really cool, exciting opportunity I'm going to message you about, my friend. If that is indeed you. Anyway, I'm trying to get this kick stream going, which I don't really know how to do that. So yeah, we'll see. I added the stream keys and everything, but I'm not really sure. So at 9, I'm gonna switch gears and jump into I'm gonna jump into here. Where's the go live button? I don't see it. Stream info has been updated. apologies, guys. For those of you that know what I usually do, I'm not doing that. I'm testing a new streaming platform, but I'm not sure how to start the stream on the platform. So I'm just trying to figure some things out, friends. Maybe I need to verify my account. I don't know if I've done that. No, seems fine. Hmm. Is my phone tripping? I'm not sure. Is your phone tripping? I'm not talking right now, by the way. I'm trying to figure out how to get another streaming platform added to the mix. But am I tripping? Am I like getting really tweaky or something? Mindful movement. Let me know. I'm trying to get kick off the ground, but I don't know. I don't see where the go live button is. So because of that, I am not talking. Well, at least I'm not talking what I usually talk about. Hmm. But yeah, something going on with the stream. That's weird. No, I'm good now. What was going on? Was I like stuttering? I do live in the jungle, so this is one of those things that just happens, you know?
So what? No, because like then.
Anyway, I'm pretty close to sacking this off. I'm not really sure how to get this kick working. Channel actions. No? Slow mo? No? Banned words? No? It's just cutting out with a weird static. Oh. Could be because my mics weren't in the right place either, so that might have something to do with it. Sometimes when the wind blows, the mics get weird. But anyway, I've had enough of that. Let's go ahead and start the stream. I really wanted to go stream on this new platform. I heard there's a lot of cool people here. Kick, if you know what Kick is, I've never used it before, but I heard it's a good platform for streaming, kind of like Twitch, but not Twitch. So anyway, let's turn the lights on. Welcome to the pregame, guys. I was just having some fun over there with another platform that is not working anymore. But anyway, what's up, guys? Hit me with your human design questions if you want, or just stick around and watch me go in. I'm going in. I'm going in. We're going in. And we're going live to the other platforms. Top of the morning to y'all. It's Wednesday, hump day. Did anyone else get the like, oh, Wednesday is hump day, like you got over the hump? Because I've always enjoyed Wednesdays. Morning, yes. What time of day is it where you guys are tuning in from? It's 9 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. I'm in Hawaii. And it's a morning. I've been up for a few hours. It's very cloudy where I am and super vibey in my bus as per usual. And we are just doing our thing over here. But let me know what time it is or what time of day. I don't necessarily want to know like what time it is, but let me know what time of day. Is it morning? Is it night? Is it um, super dark? What a brilliant way to get your morning going. Thanks. Yeah, I mean this is 3 days out of the week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I go live. Um, I typically start my morning with tea and something I call RPM, which is Rise, Piss, Meditate, which is if you are wanting a meditation practice, there's literally no easier practice than RPM, Rise, Piss, Meditate. Literally just wake up, pee, and then meditate for a minimum of 5 minutes. That's right, 5 minutes. A lot of people overthink meditation and they think that it's supposed to be this like super calming, contemplative time. Meditation is literally just like sit and watch your mind run around like a wild dog. It's like literally just let your dog out of the cage for a little bit so that they can like chase some birds and stuff like that. It's the cultivation of a lack of reactivity. So it's watching all the reactivity that you have, and instead of letting your mental reactions become your physical reactions, you just watch them. This is you respond to them by saying, "I love you." That's happening. Great. Even if they're like thoughts that you don't want to be having. Because guys, thoughts are just thoughts. Yes, thoughts become things, but until they become things, thoughts are just fucking thoughts. Afternoon, I wish I was in a cloudy jungle though. Where are you? Good afternoon, y'all. Got that aerial yoga swing today. Meditating feels like you're floating. Highly recommend. Ooh, aerial yoga swing and peacetime. Peacetime. Sometimes I'll call my meditation practice a boredom practice because it's kind of what it is. For me, at least, I'm a very like pragmatic, practical kind of guy. And so when I first started getting into spirituality, I was like, what is the point of all of this stuff that we're doing? And while it was very, how you say, available, I was able to connect with like spiritual realms. I wanted to know like the biology of it. I wanted to know what exactly is happening in my system when I'm meditating and looking at the brain waves and how the brain waves shift and getting into this parasympathetic nervous system, getting into the side body, into the back body, getting into a state of where you can actually rest, digest, integrate things. That really fascinated me. And so it kind of started a lifelong journey of me wanting to know, like, where do you draw the line between spiritual fluffiness and actual spiritual experiences? And that led me to a lot of teachers, one of which is Samuel Sagan, who authored my favorite book series of all time, Atlantean Secrets. He also has a school for meditation where he literally did this on like a massive scale. And his work is incredible. Samuel Sagan, guys, look him up. Atlantean Secrets. It's a fiction story about Atlantis, although it reads like a history book, and it's so amazing. But anyway, Mansfield, Texas. Texas. I feel like there are some. Everywhere in the world can be beautiful if you have the eyes to see what is beautiful about it. Acknowledge, appreciate, allow. And also, if you don't like it there, please move. Go somewhere. What do you think about my 1/4 projector? I'm not sure. What do you want me to think about it? You want me to say that, oh, that's the coolest type ever? Because it's not. 3.5 reflector is the coolest type ever. Just kidding. That's my type. I'm really sarcastic if any of you guys are not familiar with me. I'm going to like poke and jab at it. So welcome to answer questions, but if you don't have a specific question, I'm just gonna poke at it because it's like the thing is like, is this good or bad? We're beyond that. If it's what you make of it. It's what you make of it. It's not good nor bad. If you're a projector and you know how to wait for an invitation, you know how to wait and be patient and recognize when people are wanting to use you, but they're saying they're not, but they are using you, and the difference between that and someone knowing how to use you and giving you the right fuel, making it so that there's reciprocity, that good and bad are relative. But what should I do next? Oh my God, Lifelog, don't even. Isn't all spirituality a gateway to consciousness? I wouldn't necessarily call it a gateway because I feel like there's a lot of forms of spirituality that are really just like forms of attachment. Like a lot of people that have identities around their spirituality, like a Christian or a Buddhist, or you know, they're a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are unable to recognize the God or the essence or the presence or the enthusiasm in other people. And so a lot of forms of spirituality are actually sort of covertly Aramaic or satanic in disguise. Satanic and Aramaic, I don't use those words as like those are bad things. I mean Aramaic as in like calcified materialism, and then satanic as loose materialism. It's the disrespecting of nature and its laws, or it's the controlling of nature and its laws. Spirituality is being able to recognize the presence of those two forces and then being able to walk the middle path. Just answered my own question, release. Oh, I see you said ask a question. I also said don't ask super vague questions, but yes, guys, I am a reflector. For all my reflectors out there, for projectors, for everyone out there, um, if you're tuning into this live, take this as an opportunity and a sign from the universe that you don't need to ascend anymore. You actually need to descend. You actually need to get more into your physical body, and you need to start tapping into your organs. You need to start inflating your pelvic floor. And I literally mean like taking your sacrum and inflating it, filling it with blood. You need to start learning how to inflate your lungs inwards so that they support your heart. You need to start learning how to rotate your ribs. You need to start learning how to use your eyes as more than just a singular focused thing. If you're in this live, it's because you're here to descend. You've ascended enough, and now it's time to descend into your body. Tapping into the body, I've been learning to differentiate yes and no indicators for decision making. So important. And it's not exclusive to just generators. Like the generators and manifesting generators out there have been told that there is a organ inside them that helps them make decisions. Your sacral. It gives you ahas and ahs. And for most people, that's just a mental thing. Until you can actually feel your pelvic floor and your sex organs lighting up with energy, providing you with energy, or deflating, all of the ahas and ahs are going to be in your head. I have a beautiful home and a huge backyard, though, so not much complaining. Well, you didn't complain too much, so I won't fault you for it. But that is awesome. And that's like I said, that's the cool thing about human beings is even if you don't like where you live, really, you could create a space within that space, a house or a home that you do like. And maybe you stay there for certain reasons. You might stay home a lot. And one of humanity's greatest tools is the ability to adapt. And if you don't like this place or it's not doing it for you, you can move somewhere else. That is one of the reasons why we have so much beauty in the world is because people were unsatisfied with where they were living. And for generators and manifesting generators, if you go against that creative sexual energy inside you that's wanting to guide you or that's wanting to fuel you, you will be frustrated. You won't be able to sleep. You might have things in your life that objectively seem great, money, nice house, great relationship. But if your sacral is not with it, you will not feel the satisfaction. Harmless compliment. Wait, what are we talking about? I realized last week I closed my eyes and I'm in a cave. Oh, yes. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, fine shit. Sup, sup. Touching on duality. Yeah, that's the next quarter that we're going into. We're almost halfway through the quarter of civilization, heading into duality. By the way, if you guys don't have a body graph, do yourself a favor, go get a body graph. If you don't know anything about human design, that's totally fine. This is free. You can get a body graph on my website for free. If you want to give me 20 bucks, I will literally decode your entire body graph for you in the form of a report, gets sent right to your email. Open it up and you'll have like almost 100 pages of information to read about yourself. And then you can start crying because of how incredibly accurate and precise these reports are. Uh, that being said, no amount of words or information is going to heal your nervous system. That's something that you actually have to do yourself. If you want that, come check out the archive. Keep tuning into the live. A lot of people will ask me questions about their type and their profile. And these are questions that, they're not you don't really, your mind wants the answers to those questions. Your body is the thing that wants attention. Is it easy to do for us technologically challenged? Yes, absolutely. I got your report. It's amazing, but also overwhelming. Yes, exactly. That's the thing, because the mind can only focus on one thing at a time. Even if you're good at multitasking, the mind does best. The mind does best focusing on one thing at a time because it's trying to track patterns, etc. How do I navigate with separation as my trauma? So one of the great things about a sort of like a genetic trauma is like if your challenge is separation, then your medicine and what you have to work with, all the ways that you feel separated in your life, that's your training partner. And so the areas that you feel separated in life, one of the things that I would recommend you do is you figure out and you explore with dissolving the separation between, for instance, your lungs and your heart. These are organs that are right next to each other, and yet most people don't think about how they interact at all. Most people actually experience instability, anxiety, depression because their heart is under pressurized by their lungs. Their lungs, when they breathe in, their heart sees that as a threat. They're like, whoa, 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 it's claustrophobic in there. And so start to dissolve the separation. And I would say start with the distance between your heart and your lungs, and then start to do this. This is called a convergence. This is crossing your eyes. If this makes you dizzy, great. If you quit because you don't like being dizzy, it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because you're underdeveloped. The ability to sit here and just be dizzy, soothe yourself, reorient yourself is a superpower. It's a superpower. Most people run away from crossing their eyes. They run away from looking up. They run away from doing hard things because they think and they're sold this idea that like, oh, life should be easy for you. No, no, it's life is not trying to make things easy for you. In fact, life is habitually looking for ways to experience more things so that it can grow beyond. Because if there was no antagonizing force, if there was no darkness, there would be no light. What are good exercises to get out of my mind and into my spleen as a splenic manifest? Draw an X with your nose and your face. So X, this is one part of the X. This is the other part of the X. See if you can do this without, see what's happening with my body? I want to be able to move intentionally. I want to be able to move just my head and my neck, and then my ribs and everything above it. So you want to be able to like compartmentalize and pressurize. Like imagine this. You guys know what happens when your stomach acid gets up into your throat? Gross. Sucks. You don't like it. It's not supposed to be that way. You're supposed to be pressurized here and pressurized here so that stuff from here doesn't get up here unless it's supposed to happen. Acid reflux and throwing up is your stomach being like, hey, there's something that we don't want to move through our large intestine and small intestine, so we're going to push it back up through the mouth. Like it's not good to move through our intestines, so we're going to push it back up through the mouth. And your mouth ought to be like, oh yeah, bet. Ugh. How many people are afraid of throwing up? What that means is that you will eat something, you will date someone, you will start a job. And when your stomach and body realize we don't like this person, we don't like this job, we don't like this food, instead of throwing it up because you're afraid of being embarrassed or whatever, you'll just keep it down and you'll literally start to digest poison as opposed to just throwing it up. So when it comes to getting out of your mind, it's not so much about getting out of your mind as it is about returning to your body. Like overthinking, like the mind is a part of the body. The body has so many different systems at work, and the mind is just sort of a part of it. Now, we have sort of glorified the mind in this way that, oh, make the right decision, make the smart decision. This is what the experts are saying. How many times have you come across somebody who claims to be an expert, who claims to have a lot of authority in a space, and they recommend something and you do it and it doesn't work, and then you get gaslit by the expert because they're like, oh, you didn't do it right? When in actuality, human beings in our energetic fields, they're very unique to us. And if we only know how to trust the external authority, we only know how to trust the experts, the science, we might appear to be doing life right, but it won't feel that way for us. And so when it comes to overthinking, you don't want to stop overthinking. You want to channel overthinking. The way you channel overthinking is by dominating your life's experience, navigating with the body as opposed to the mind. Overthinking is an addiction to other people telling you what to do. You're only overthinking it because you're concerned about what other people are going to think about what you're doing. When you learn how to trust your sacral, when you learn how to trust your solar plexus, when you learn how to trust your inner authority in human design, you become not necessarily like untouchable, but that concept of being unfuckwithable, that's how you start to develop it. But you have to actually start to do something that's scary or uncomfortable for you. You have to deny the external authority the satisfaction that comes from you following everything they do. Coming in hot on Wednesday. If you guys are liking this live, do me a favor, like the live, share the live. Help me grow the channel. Help me grow the channel. Help me grow the channel because I'm not out here just doing this for fun. Like I genuinely, and if you just want to like use me as a bypass, like, oh, I joined the Reikimarco live so I can feel good about myself, but I don't do any of the exercises that he shares on his lives, one of which, again, just with the head, draw an X. 10 times this way, 10 times this way. Smell, swallow, blow a cool stream of air. Don't dump the pressure. So many people are getting downloads and then dumping it all over the internet and then they're empty. Meanwhile, they're suppressing what their organs are uploading to the world because they're afraid of what it'll look like, because it doesn't. And then they have to pass things off as downloads rather than like, hey, I'm uploading this original thing. I'm willing to be made fun of for it. The Courage to Be Disliked is a great book. You're speaking it. I'm all about that spaghetti. I was scrolling. All I heard was, you care what people think, and instantly tuned in. Yeah, we care too much about what people think. And the reality is we're not considering how our organs are responding to other people. Like you might have someone in your life that you think is a really good friend, and meanwhile your heart is suffocated by them. Your solar plexus is burnt out because of them. Your sacral is so tired and now it doesn't know when enough is enough because of them. But they look like a good friend. You think they're a good friend, but you're ignoring your body's response to them. If you could tell the world one thing, what would it be? Don't listen to me. Find out for yourself. It's like I have a lot of insights and wisdom to share, but at the end of the day, like I want you to try and prove me wrong. I want you to connect with your inner authority and have a build a relationship with your sacrum and your spine and your bones and your blood. And I want you to listen to that over me. I can't get past the fact that people don't understand, so I'm struggling being louder. Yeah, there's people that will never fully understand. And I genuinely believe no one in the world will ever fully understand you the way that you want to be understood, because you want to be understood from the mind. The reality is that if you want to be understood, it's probably a way for you to bypass accepting parts of yourself. And that's what human design does. It shows us what parts of ourselves we need to start actually accepting, and we need to let go of trying to understand all this stuff and just accept this shit. Like, accept that you have a heart that freaks out every time you take an inhale. Because what happens when you inhale? Your lungs get bigger. What happens to your heart? It gets compressed. So how do you remedy that? Well, take a big inhale,
intentionally pressurize your heart, like push on your heart with the insides of your lungs, and then use this as a self-soothing mechanism. Swallow, keep that pressure alive every time you inhale, pressurize more and more and more. Microdose the pressure, microdose the fear so that you can get stronger. Increase the anxiety. Like one of the things that gives me so much anxiety is just looking up. Just looking up gives me a lot because then I don't see what's right in front of me. Like, what's going to happen? What's right in front of me? Eventually, you'll break through a threshold and you'll start to see that, oh, if I want certainty, I have to learn how to leverage anxiety. If I want clarity, I have to learn how to ride my emotions. If I want courage, I have to be able to use my fear like a fuel. I have to be able to take the thing that seems like it's in my way, the obstacle, and use that to elevate myself. Motivation, baby. I'd listen to you before my playlist any day. Thanks. Again, hopefully, listening to me when you're not listening to me is inspiring you to listen to yourself and not who you think you are, but who you physically are and actually are. Can you explain the different types of humans? I don't get reflector. Yeah, so reflector generator, these are called types in human design, and they are very, very surface level explorations of what we call circuitry within human design. Circuitry is how you're hardwired to handle inspiration, which comes from the top, comes from the head. What problem should I solve? What should I be thinking about? Oh, dang, we just got yeeted. Sorry, guys, my Instagram live over here just died. There it is. We're back. Um, Inspiration comes from the top. What to think about, how, you know, what problems need to be solved, and then what comes from the bottom, which is stress and cortisol. So based off of your body graph, yeeted is like thrown. But my internet or my page over here with Instagram just like shut down randomly. So anyway, the types are an exploration. It's like a simplification of how stress and inspiration make their way through your vessel, through your unique instrument to be manifested. Reflectors are here as mirrors for the world. They have no defined way of moving stress and inspiration to manifestation. Projectors are guides. They have typically very little definition in terms of how to manifest stress and inspiration, and they look to other people to invite them to guide, because part of not having definition is that you can kind of objectively see things. You're not trapped in your own experience of things. Manifestors are here to start shit. Generators and manifesting generators are here to respond. And really, generators and manifesting generators, if you look at the new age definition of manifestation, which is very like synonymous with law of attraction, generators and manifesting generators are the real manifestors. Because all you do is you just follow your gut. If your gut goes, you do it. You put it in your mouth. You make babies with it. If your gut goes, you don't. Most people's problem is that they don't know how to connect with literally their first brain. Your first brain is your stomach and your sex organs. It's the most powerful force in the world, sexual creative energy. And we all have it, whether you have a defined center or an undefined center. Defined center is like a speaker. You're putting out your information to the world. It's much more consistent. Undefined means it's like depends on who you're around, depends on the transit. Having a defined head center is like your head is never going to shut up. You're always going to be inspired, or you're going to be very clear about like, oh, that's not inspiring. Like that's the not kind of free. But it can be crippling. It can be crippling if you don't know what to do with the pressure. And so one of the things you can do with the pressure is like play around with it. Pressurize your head this way, keep your head straight. Pull your head this way, keep your head straight. Push your head back. See what's happening here in my neck? Get your body get your body to engage. And this is sort of what we're teaching and learning about in the archive. So I have a private membership. We got about 250 people in there right now, which is amazing because we just launched it in December, where we're literally bridging the gap between kinesiology, sensory mechanics, biomechanics, functional training, and human design and spirituality. We're bridging the gap. And it's actually a lot more simple than you guys would think. We're basically showing people how to physically manifest their inspiration and stress in a way so that they're not manifesting other people's inspiration and stress. And one of the ways why we do this, or one of the ways we do this, is we teach you how to saturate the physical counterparts of your energetic centers. So, for instance, your head and ajna, a lot of that is like right here in the face. A lot of that is in the brain, but a lot of it is in the face. And so what we do is we teach your eyes how to be able to move independently. The throat center, which is the center of manifestation, we widen your throat. We teach it how to deal with my shit's super hot now. Could you finish talking about the types left off on projector? Ah, yes. So after projectors, we have the manifestors, which are here. I think I just went through them really quickly. They're here to, the manifestors, which are here to start things. Y'all are here to initiate. You have a energy center with consistent energy going up to the throat. And so you're here to initiate things. Manifestors are the ones that have to deal with the rejection. Everyone else is waiting around to either reject or accept things. And the idea behind a manifestor is that they have a direct channel from one of their energy centers, whether it's their root, whether it's their sacral, whether it's their solar plexus or their heart, to the throat. If you have a sacral defined and you have a manifesting channel, you're a manifesting generator. And part of your form is to initiate. But if it's and then if you have a defined sacral, like you're here to respond to the world. As a type, you're here to listen to what your gut is generating energy for. See what arouses you, not just in a sexual way, but also in a creative way, which those two energies are exactly the same. Laura, got you. Yeah, people with defined heads, it's like people will, you would go to a doctor and be like, my mind never shuts up. And they'd be like, oh, well, that's not normal. It's like, dude, the mind is supposed to think. I'm having really dangerous thoughts. Oh, well, we need to shut your mind up. No, you need to have a body that can handle dangerous thinking. You need to have a body that is conditioned to know what to do when you're having negative thoughts. Like when I'm having negative thoughts, my body knows exactly what to do. We go outside, we run, we climb trees. We get into the body because thoughts are just fucking thoughts, guys. Whoever sold you this idea that like thoughts are things, no, they're fucking not. Not until they're things. Until they're things, they're just thoughts. The thoughts that you entertain over and over and over and over and over again eventually become thoughts, or eventually become things. That does build up energy. But you can't stop thinking. That's like trying to stop your heart. That's like trying to stop your stomach from digesting. If you put food in your stomach will digest it for you. The problem that people have is, well, they will throw up disgusting food. They won't throw up the thoughts because they don't know how. So am I going to win the lottery? If you believe enough, like so much of that is just so, it's not sad. I guess it's like watching a kid play make believe, And the thing about a kid is, I don't necessarily think the kid actually believes that. They just like don't care that a thought is a thought. I believe my body is strong, right? Is your body actually strong, though, is the question. I love this dude, so real. Yeah. I go on your site for my HD report. Is this you? Yes. Yes, it's me. Make an X with the face to combat nervousness. No, use it to elevate into next awareness. Yeah, it's like you see autistic people or people neurodivergent, they do all this like stimming stuff like that, but there's like a really efficient way to stim. These are figure 8 patterns. This is a spiral pattern. How do we join your community? Link is in the bio. It's called the Archive, and it's only $37, guys. Like $37 to be a part of what I genuinely believe, and what a lot of the members have told me is like the most cutting edge spiritual community, because it's not restricted to believe in this God, manifest this with meditation. This is all these sound healing tracks. It's like, hey, show us what your physical body looks like. Train for 28 days, then show us what it looks like afterwards. And like, tell me something doesn't shift. Because again, you can't do these exercises and not have a change. And the link is in the bio. I love it. Kelly, you know exactly what you want. Your sacral is screaming at you right now, like, let's go. Let's make this happen. That's great. You're the type of person that I want. You're the type of person that I want in the community. For anyone that can't afford it or it's expensive, like I said, risk it for the biscuit. Just take my word for it, but come see if I'm full of shit. Genuinely, come see if I'm full of shit. See if the $37 is not repaid, multiplied. And again, but you have to do the exercises. So when you get in there, watch a video a day. Start with season 1, episode 1, then go to episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you want to, go through that again. But then once you're done with season 1, it's like a TV show. Start season 2, but you're the main character. How can I break free if I just feel stuck in long-term unawareness and I don't feel fully present? Michael, first of all, my friend, you have to accept where you're at. You're not going to break free overnight. But what you can start to do is start to like wiggle around with where you're at. You can start to reclaim your body. Because again, the feeling of being stuck is literally not moving forward. And so what I would say is start walking every day. Start walking for 5 minutes every day. Even if you have to walk around in a fucking circle because it's winter outside, like start walking, start physically moving forward in life. That will help you not only to lower cortisol, because forward momentum and the mechanics of walking are actually some of the greatest alchemizers of cortisol, which is the stress hormone in the body. Start walking. If you feel stuck, start walking. Guarantee you're probably not. I'm browsing and checking it out from a distance, but very interested in starting and applying. Yeah, again, and this is the thing, and I'm not trying to like, leverage you or like sell you on anything, but where else in your life are you just circling it from the outside and you really want to go get after it? I'm telling you, this membership will help you. It will help you stop circling things and feel more confident in going after the things that you want, embarrassing yourself, maybe looking dumb, maybe getting some ridicule from other people, maybe not being very good at it, maybe being rejected. Like, the archive will help you, because the archive is designed to teach you how to access the parts of your body that actually make you feel safe. Everybody is looking for a safe space instead of actually creating safety within their own nervous system and within their own bodies. And this is the goal of the archive, to help people feel safe in their own bodies. Not because it's safe, so-and-so said it's a safe space, or all of you is welcome, but because no matter what happens, you're not going to go into fight or flight. You're not going to fawn or freeze. You're going to be able to stay relaxed and see what's going on. And whether it's really great or not great at all, you're going to be able to say, oh, isn't that interesting? Look at what's happening to me. You're not going to be controlled by your emotions or your thinking or your fears. You're going to be able to channel them. And that comes from simple exercise like we have live classes every Monday and Friday. And Wednesday, we're about to pop off a new live class as well, where you learn this. Everything is recorded, so you're never going to miss anything. And on top of that, there's a whole community of people that are experiencing the same things. Like, a lot of people will join the community, they'll do a handful of episodes, and then they'll start to feel mental resistance. They'll start to feel physical resistance. And some people will give up. But there's a lot of people in there saying like, hey, I'm experiencing this. Is this normal? And people who have been in it for 3-4 months be like, yes, push through. It's so worth it. But again, ultimately, it's up to you. No one is going to come live your life for you. No one is going to connect you to your organs for you. You have to do it yourself. And there is a You have so much of a better chance of that happening if you're in a community that's their focus. Like a lot of communities, and not to knock human design communities because I love human design, but a lot of communities focus on learning human design as opposed to discovering your body graph from the inside out. Emotional authority is something important in human design. Thank you. Exactly. Yes. So emotional authority is primarily right here. It's the celiac ganglia. Yes, it's connected to celiac disease. It's your ability to digest, and it's everything between your pelvic floor and your digastric system, which is right here. Which, if you want to start to strengthen this, take your fingers, push them up into this soft part under your jaw, and then push them out. See this? And then strengthen it, swallow. And if you can't push them out, just swallow. You'll feel the muscles turn on. And then just work on keeping your fingers pushed out. At some point, you're going to start to panic. You're going to be like, this is hard. Go just a little bit beyond where it's hard for you. You're increasing your capacity for life. I enjoy watching you. So happy I found you again. Oh, happy you found me too. Make sure you follow so that you don't lose me again. And yeah, it's not about, because the thing, again, the body graph is super helpful. But if you don't have a connection with your body, it just makes you like a neurotic mess. It just makes you, it turns you into this like, oh, am I living my human design right? What does Marco think? What does, this human design person think? What does that person think? I don't want you to do that. I want you to learn, oh yeah, this feels right. That feels stronger. Oh man, that part is super weak. Okay, how do I inflate? How do I engorge that part of my body? And your mind is going to squirm because your mind wants to be the authority. Your mind wants to be the one making the decisions. But it's not great at making decisions that are satisfying or that have your freedom in mind. It's good at making smart decisions that look right from the outside or that other people are going to be like, oh yeah, that was the right decision to make. Most people care more about being right than being happy or satisfied or peaceful. And because of that, their mind stays in control, and their body, they cover their body with makeup, they cover it with expensive clothes, they hide from life. I'm growing so much in the eternal now. Yes, grow in the eternal. Why is it hard for some to be still or to be with themselves? Because you don't know yourself. It's like as a baby, at one point, it was hard to breathe. It was hard to digest food. It was hard to poop. It was hard to walk. It was hard to make new friends. Like you just don't spend enough time doing that. So one of the things that everyone could benefit from, and I've been making TikTok videos, so if you want some assistance with this, do it. Spend 10 minutes a day being bored. Consciously be bored. And intentionally put yourself in a situation that you're not normally in. So while you're being bored, instead of just laying down, being on your phone or watching TV, because that's not being bored, you're still in this chronic focus. Be bored. Look up or look up to the top right corner or look up to the top left corner, whichever one you want. Smell, swallow, blow a cool stream of air like you're blowing a hot cup of tea and you're trying to cool it off. Do that for 10 minutes. I guarantee you it will probably be challenging, but by the end of that 10 minutes, you're going to feel like kind of elevated. You're going to feel really peaceful. Your nervous system, what's going to happen is there's a lot of things going on there, but these eyes up, swallowing, smelling, those are triggering your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the side body and back body. It's the part of you that is able to like rest and digest. You guys have heard that before? Rest and digest versus fight or flight, fawn and freeze. Fawn, by the way, is to like Stockholm syndrome, is like side with your oppressor or the thing that's abusing you. The reason it's hard for you to sit still with yourself is because you just don't practice. That's it. There's nothing wrong with you. Because like when you sit still with yourself, and you can ask any actual meditator this, like what's the point of meditation? They're not going to say, oh, it's to keep your mind from thinking. It's the goal of meditation is not to keep your mind from thinking. It's to develop an awareness that is less reactive to the thinking. Because again, people say thoughts are things. No, thoughts are thoughts. Thoughts gone unchecked become things. People manifest disaster because they're constantly thinking about it. They have no buffer between their thoughts and their reality. And then they're like, oh, but why am I not manifesting millions and millions of dollars? Because you couldn't handle $10. That's why. I gotta pee, guys. If you guys are enjoying this live, do me a favor, share, etc. Do all the things. Help me grow the channel. I appreciate you guys. I will be back. I have to go pee. I've been told that you're able to hear my stream when I'm streaming, which is funny. Here's a plug for the archive. I just started a few days ago and I noticed differences already. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Laura, let's go. We were collectively discussing stillness and parasympathetic. Yup. What's happening? Don't be a buster. What's happening? Yeah, we're discussing how much people confuse boredom with peace and peace for boredom. Like a lot of times when you're feeling really peaceful, your mind will be like, we're being unproductive, or we should be doing something right now. Like we don't want to be lazy. And I remember as a kid, I have a really tough time with this still to this day, because I remember when I was a kid and I would just be like peaceful, like literally just like peaceful, playing with my toys. And then my dad would get home and it's like, the chores aren't done. We need to do the chores. And I love my dad. He was such a good dad. But there was this stress that would come home with him. And I never really got around to learning how to use that in a good way, because now it's like with my partner, for instance. She likes the place very, very clean. She has her own spot. I used to get really stressed out because it would take me back to when I was my dad. But then I realized, oh, if I know that my partner gets stressed out about these things and I can prevent feeling her stress by preventing the stress from triggering within her because the dishes are already done, guess what? I get excited about doing the dishes. It's not like I want to do the dishes. I get excited about doing the dishes now because I know if I do the dishes, there's no stress response for my partner. And if there's no stress response for my partner, there's no stress response for me. So you'll learn. You either learn or you don't. And this is a community of learners. We're here to learn shit, guys. We're here to share the results. Like part of the archive is a community. People are sharing like, hey, I'm struggling with this. Or like, I'm really just, I don't want to do this. Like we have a handful of people in the archive that will be like, I've been in this archive for 2 months and I haven't even watched the first video. And what do they get from us? Thank you for your honesty, but start watching the videos. Like, why are you here? I don't want you to be paying me and not be benefiting from my work. I can't control that, but genuinely, like, I'd rather you cancel your membership and go and try and find something else rather than thinking that just paying for a membership and not doing the work that's in the membership is going to somehow change you. Like, there's enough people that want to pay and that want to do the work. And when it comes to stillness, again, that's if it's hard for you, great. Like you have to freaking you have to grow. Meditation is hard for you. Relationships are hard for you. Work is hard for you. Great. That's an opportunity to grow. That's an opportunity to become greater than whatever it is that's hard, because objectively speaking, what's hard for you isn't hard if you just give yourself the nourishment necessary to be able to do the thing. I'll give you an example. Like if you have children and this might be a low blow. If you have children and they are loud and that puts you on edge, you need to get better. You need to get better because your child's screaming because they don't know how to ask you for something. Like, let's say they're toddlers. The reason they call toddlers and the age two the terrible twos is because most parents' nervous systems suck. And when their kid screams, they don't know how to discern the difference between the kid screaming because they're in pain, now they're a bad parent, and blah, 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 and their kid just trying to figure something out and being frustrated. My nervous system sucks. But it doesn't have to. It's just underdeveloped. It's not broken. That's the thing. Your nervous system is not broken. It's just underdeveloped. Okay? Some things that you can do are in the archive, but one of the things that I do as a parent when I'm noticing my child is like really fussy or she didn't take her nap. I have a 2-year-old, so I'm speaking from experience. Whenever she's that way, I will just start doing this. And then I will turn my head. I have my own techniques to do, but you can learn this in the archive. I have ways of regulating my nervous system when she's going off, and even when my partner's going off because she's pregnant. I have ways of regulating my nervous system. I'm not just leaving it up to like, oh, I guess my nervous system sucks. I do things. And there's a lot of simple things that you can do that will help you to regulate your nervous system. Which is funny because like I just thought of this, like if you've ever rolled your eyes at someone, oh my God. You know what that if you roll your eyes at me, what I've been trained to think is that, oh, you don't care. Like you think what I'm talking about is stupid. But literally looking up, looking to the side, rolling the eyes like this is a way of regulating the nervous system. That's so messed up. I had one of the trippiest dreams last night that I haven't had in a super long time. I did trippy Reiki on your right hand. Trippy, yes. What happened? I did Reiki on you? On your hand? I'm curious on your interpretation of the artificial shores environment type. Try to Google it. Amir, so shores is where you have spaces of transition. So it's like artificial shores would be like where the Chinese neighborhood becomes, the Ethiopian neighborhood, or where the city becomes the suburbs. So shores are like, again, transitions. Artificial shores just means that it's a place where it's been built up. So what I would say is like if you're wanting to sort of like come into contact with yourself, go check out one of those shores. Thank you. Pregnancy is wonderful. I think it's so important. I did begin transcendental meditation. It changed my life. Yeah, TM is great. And there's a lot lacking from TM. Like TM is very, again, transcend. Why do we want to transcend the body so much? Why do we want to get to the spiritual realms so badly? My guess, and it is just a theory, my guess is that the reason why we want to transcend life so much is because we don't really know how to smell and taste and love life. We don't know how to love life and love the world around us and accept and really enjoy the world around us. That's why we're trying to get extra spiritual. And it's something has turned on in me in the past few years, especially with becoming a dad, but especially with AI and VR kind of like on the up and up. And it's like we're literally headed towards a technological apocalypse. We're literally getting to the point where humans are letting robots do the thinking for them and the feeling for them. ChatGPT, how should I feel about this? My friend said this and my friend said that. Well, if your friend said this, logically, like, dude, it's a second brain. It's not a second heart. It's not another organ. It's not your lungs. What makes you human? It's your freaking organs. It's not your brain. Your brain is part of it, but it's your organs. So I feel as though I will feel so guilty because I know that the information that I have can save people from becoming those wallies. You know what I mean? Like the big fat people that are in the. And I have nothing against being fat, but it's like, that's really what you're going to do with the gift? the gift of life. And if you're overweight and you want to not be overweight and you're willing to put in the work, fuck yeah. Do you have a right brain, Marco? I have my personality variables are left facing, my design variables are right facing. So I'm perfectly balanced in all ways. Just like that. What books do you recommend you start with to understand the chat? What do you mean by the chat, Laura? Sorry, I don't really understand that question. Yeah, I felt like lightning was coming out and coursing through my whole being, through the arm and concentrated from my right hand and right finger. Well, apparently I'm giving Reiki in people's dreams to members of the archive. Maybe it's because of trauma. Well, here's the thing about trauma. Everyone's got trauma. It's like traumatic as fuck to be alive. And some people have more than others. But when it comes down to it, now is the best time ever to be a traumatized human being, because there are so many resources and so many opportunities to work on that trauma. It's traumatic as fuck to be alive. But being raped too many times to count, and you can't stand up straight anymore. And some guy is saying to have discipline. If by some guy you mean me, do I have some resources? Yes. Yes, I do. This is the book that I learned human design from, by the way, for Laura. This book, and there's another book that's also in my book list, is right here. How to find human design if time of birth has been completely lost from hospital and family records. That's a tricky one. There's a handful of people that can do something called birth time rectification. But again, it's like I don't necessarily think, and it's not that the body graphs aren't so powerful and accurate. Again, what's more important is like coming into contact with your physical organs. And again, especially the organs that have been traumatized, right? And not necessarily in a way of like needing to fix those organs, but really to just accept what's happening and what's going on. Interact with 432 today. Huh. 432 is really interesting because again, these frequencies like are in terms of the scales, like even the scale, like the Western scale, it's funny because it's man-made, but then it's also, it sounds right. But does it sound right just because that's the thing that we've been using for generations? Because the Indian scale, or the I forget actually what you would call that, the Karnic scale, Karnic style of music, it uses, instead of 8 semitones, it's like 10. So for Westerners, the music sounds kind of off, but that's because it's an entirely different division and definition of music. Not to say 432 isn't awesome, but one of the reasons why I believe it's very healing is because it's very nuanced. It's just slightly softer and slightly more flat than what we're used to. Karnic scale, I'll look it up. Yeah. Try it a few different times to see which readings resonate with you the most, huh? What? Oh, yeah. So when it comes to like not knowing your birth time, there's a birth time rectification, which is having somebody else tell you your birthday. There's running a couple different charts at different times and seeing what is what resonates with you and what doesn't. Just because something doesn't resonate with you doesn't necessarily mean that it's not you. Like for instance, most people are so conditioned that when they run multiple charts, their mind might pick the chart that's like opposite of who they are, just because they think they know who they are rather than they actually know who they are. Again, this is about not relying on charts solely. Doesn't mean the charts are not reliable. What it means is that if you don't know the difference, if you don't know how to read, and I put a book in front of you and I tell you this says that, and you trust me, it could say the opposite of that, but because you trust me, or I have some form of authority, you're just going to take my word at face value. I'm like, I don't want to hand you that stuff. I want to ask you, like, what does it feel like in your organs? And what level of accountability are you going to have as well? Because yeah, again, a lot of spirituality and new age stuff is just super fluffy. There's no accountability. But there's accountability in the archive. Like you can test it out like low sound versus high sound digestion. Right. And I do that. Like there'll be times when it's like high sound environments and I'm like cognitively I'm like, "Oh, Marco, you have a low sound environment." And I'm like, "Yeah, but let's see if I can eat and see what happens." Because again, I'm not necessarily afraid of the experiment or afraid of being wrong. Like I'm more curious about the truth because I know the truth is my only protection. And if you're obsessed with your story or you're married to an identity or an idea of who you are, or you let other people tell you who you are, or you tell yourself who you are and you don't care about what other people say about you, like it's not about not caring about what other people say about you. It's about being able to hold both. It's about being able to be like, yes, this is who I think I am, and this is who I feel that I am. But if you're experiencing me as something different, let me observe that. Let me see what that's about. Because if you can't do that, you're in a psychosis. There are two ends of the spectrum. The extremes of the spectrum is you are a slave to the external authority, or you are a tyrant of an internal authority. You think that your word is supreme. That's like where narcissists are, so to speak. What's your sign, Marco? I'm a Pisces Sun, Libra Moon, Virgo Rising, which a lot of people are like, oh, that's very cool. It's like very balanced, and I'm a very balanced human being, 100%. And I can sometimes be pretty extreme, as you guys are seeing. This isn't necessarily like super extreme, but I can be very animated when it comes to situations like this because especially for people that have a lot of trauma or are blaming their trauma. I'm like, that's your way. That is quite literally to accept that trauma, to transmute that trauma, to love and learn to trust life again despite that trauma. That is your way. There is no other way. If you want people to like coddle you and hold you in that, you can find those people pretty easily. But if you want to move forward, that is the way. It's through the storm. Ooh, ooh, what am I? So if you don't know what your human design is, you can go to my website, reikimarco.com. The link is also in the bio, and you can generate a body graph. It's free to generate a body graph. If you want to pay $20 and you can afford it, you can get a report that literally decodes everything. Like it'll put it in plain English. This gate means that. This center means that. You can read through the whole thing. It's overwhelming as fuck, I will admit, because your mind can only handle so much. Your body can handle a lot more. And I guarantee that if you are interested in learning about yourself, instead of studying human design, come join the archive. It's $37 per month. It's a membership. Come study sensory design. Sensory design is where we take human design and a lot of other spiritual systems and we bridge it with kinesiology and somatic healing and sensory mechanics and biomechanics. Like we take all like the fitness, the best of the fitness world and biohacking and the best of the spiritual world, and we look at what the overlap is. It's like a Venn diagram. This is the archive. Join. Start with season 1. Watch all the episodes of season 1. There's only 7, so you could literally finish like a course that will help you connect with your body in ways that you wouldn't believe. And if you have any resistance towards it, again, the risk is $37. Find out if I'm full of shit. Come watch all 7 videos and be like, yeah, this is dumb. I don't want to do this. I don't see any changes. Please do that. Do that and let me know. Because no one has been able to do that yet. Hello, I'm a psychic medium. I definitely had to stop in. I enjoy your perspective on things. Much love. Thank you. I had an optometrist comment on one of my videos. They're like, we love your videos. The eyes have this, and they were talking about your cool stuff. I was like, I love it. No money back guarantee. That's right. That's why I said tell me. Because if you pull up, you do all the episodes, and I'll be able to see, so you can't lie to me. You do all the episodes. I won't know if you actually physically did the exercises, and you want your $37 back. I don't want your karma. Here's your $37 back. That's it. There's a guarantee. There's a guarantee. And again, it's like if you do all of the season 1, and you don't notice any changes, I guess like how much effort were you putting into it? Genuinely, because everyone that does it and puts any amount of effort into it, like that genuinely wants change. And again, that kind of person, I don't think that will ever happen, but that kind of person they're not necessarily looking to grow. They're looking for things to around them to get smaller so that they can have the illusion of growth. I was introduced to human design a year ago, and it's fascinating. It's truly, you're describing the beginning of new industries. Indeed, Forrest, I am. Yeah, you can put some balls in your pits and have some fun. Exactly. Yeah, one of the pieces of equipment that we use is called a plyo ball, and we use it for all kinds of things. We use it to train what's called a bite. This is an elbow bite. We use it to train all kinds of things, but you don't necessarily need the ball. You can just bite on things. But that's again, in terms of like biting, it's so underrated. So many of these like simple things, like how you chew your food. Most people chew, their jaw goes down. Versus this. Being able to chew with your back. Your bite is not strong because your lower jaw and these jaw muscles are strong. It's strong because it's connected to your back and your midline and your body, and your tongue is strong as hell too. So when you bite your tongue, you usually bite it really, really hard. Yeah. Not the sound effect. That's Ace Ventura. I love Ace Ventura. We love people who make funny faces. And the reason why we love those funny faces is because it speaks to a dynamic that most people don't have. A lack of fear. Like, how many people were told, like, don't make that face because your face will get stuck that way? It's like, what a clever way to limit our expression as human beings to make us more tolerable and convenient for you to have around as a parent. And again, your parents weren't malicious. They were just undereducated. They were suppressed as well. Always as a kid. Carnic tones, spelling, can't find it via the internet. I'll find it for you. Hold on a second. It's Carnatic, Carnatic. Or Shruti, Shruti. I have 5 children, 1 projector, and 4 manifestors, and I am a generator. Learning about their human design has helped me parent and guide them. Whoa, that's a lot of manifestors, Forrest. I have 1 manifestor and possibly another manifestor on the way. We'll see. They might be a man gen. And yeah, learning about your children's human design is so incredible because there's certain things that you're just not like with your manifestors. You know, hopefully you've learned that when you try and tell the manifestor what to do, or when you try and initiate on the manifestor as opposed to just like informing them, letting them know what's going to happen, doesn't mean you can't be a parent. But what it means is that I would rather have my child tell me what they're about to do, even if I don't want them to do it, rather than just go do it behind my back. Like, it's so important to build trust with a manifestor to be like, hey, look, even if I don't want you to do something, I'd prefer if you just told me that you're going to do it, so at least we can do it safely. And that equates to like me having to get up. I sacrifice a lot of my relaxation and chill time because my baby girl is like, I want to climb these rocks. And I'm like, all right, thanks for telling me. Let's go do it in a safe way. Because later on, when she's 16, I don't want her to sneak out of the house. I want her to be like, hey, Dad, I really want to go to this concert, but it's past curfew. And I'll be like, well, if you're going to sneak out, here, just at least, take this money so that you can Uber home instead of having to, like, have some strange guy take you home. I don't know. Again, I'm not saying I'm like a parenting wizard. I've only had 1. Me as a dad is only like 2 years old. Yeah, thank you. Great parenting. I like to think that. But really, I'm just doing my best to pay attention to the consequences of my actions. Because again, like, there were a lot of things that my dad and my mom unconsciously did to me, thinking that they were being good parents. And later on in life, I had to like detangle that. And I know that I'm going to condition my children. There's no way to not condition your children. Human design is not going to give you some magic formula for how not to condition your children. If it's going to do anything, it's going to give you the words to take accountability for the way that you're conditioning them. And that is helpful enough. My partner is a splenic projector. She's a 5-1. I enjoy this life because I imitate every expression you make. That's fun. My dad is a manifester. My mom is a manifesting generator. Dude, so much manifesting energy around you, Forrest. I said this earlier. Manifestors are the ones that have to deal with rejection. They're the ones that are designed to deal with rejection. And a good manifester, by good I mean healthy manifester, a healthy manifester thrives in rejection. And in a way, they are going to build something like Steve Jobs. I don't think Steve Jobs was a manifester, but it's a great point that Steve Jobs makes is what the manifestor energy does. So when they were before there were smartphones, there May, you can check out. Go to my website. It's free. Just plug in your birthday and stuff. Um, they created the first iPhone. Apple did for Steve Jobs. They handed it to him, and he's looking at it, and he grabs his glass of water, and he drops the phone in the water, and he looks at it, and he sees the bubbles coming up, and he goes, "There's air in there. Fit more shit in it." And everyone's like, "What the?" But that's in a lot of ways that's kind of like what a manifestor does. Definitely a fifth line. But a manifestor is like have a big vision and initiate it. Like if you're a manifestor and everyone is always saying yes to the things that you say, to me your vision is not big enough. And again, that's just me saying that. That doesn't necessarily have to be your truth because I don't really believe in your truth. But the truth is, as a manifestor, if you don't learn how to deal with rejection, you will forever look for people like you'll be looking for an echo chamber. You won't be actually be looking for growth. What do you do when your mind and your soul are consistently at battle with a big life decision? What is your authority, Dakota? Excuse me. That explains the hard life lessons. Yeah, manifestors get some really hard life lessons because they're only 9%. So there's not a lot of people that are actually like built in a similar way. So there's not a lot of people to relate to. And we will normalize things as long as there's enough people to say, yep, that's normal, then we'll normalize it. But if there's not a lot of people enough to say like, nope, yep, that's normal, it's hard to normalize for ourselves. So if by authority, I mean, if you go run a body graph, if you run one of these, it'll tell you. It'll be like, oh, your spleen is your authority, or your sacral, or your solar plexus. And these are different points of contact. It's an organ that is going to be sort of your baseline. So if you're a solar plexus, the organ is your celiac ganglia, it's your lungs, it's really it's global pressure. It's the ability to push down and push up at the same time. And it's your stomach and your lungs and being able to tolerate high pressure, high heat. It's your emotions, learning how to ride out the emotional wave before you make the decision. So Dakota, no worries. Welcome. Go step away for a minute. Go to the link in my bio, plug in your birthday and time and stuff, generate your body graph, come back here and tell me your authority and I can help you a little bit more. That's free, by the way. You can buy a report, which will be super helpful, and it's only $20. But just come back and let me know your authority, and I will do my best to help you. It says profile is heretic investigator. That's the same profile as my partner. So you're here to like bring solutions to the world, and you're here to investigate the world. Part of you is going to feel significant in like going against the grain. Part of you is going to feel safe in being able to ask questions. This is part of your profile. And if you don't learn how to embrace this, you will forever be questioning, am I asking too many questions? Or like, is so-and-so not going to like me for this? Or why does so-and-so not like me? Fifth line gets projected upon a lot. And so people are going to like love you till they hate you. It's very hot and cold. So what you're saying about rejection for manifestor also applies to manifesting generators to a degree, Laura. The thing about a manifesting generator, and it's very nuanced, in the sense that not all manifesting generators are built the same, and there's some of the most diverse types. In that, the reason you're a manifesting generator is because you have and actually, Laura, let me just go to, because you're in the archive, right? This is one of the benefits of the archive, guys, is I have a small, or I have a community, and I can just look up your name and I can look at your body graph. And if you're in the archive, part of being in the archive is me being able to do this. Laura. Laura Allison or just Laura? Are you a what's that? 6'4" emotional manifesting generator? Is that you? Or different Laura? Because again, the thing about rejection is that pretty much everyone really has to deal with rejection, but manifestors cannot get around it. My emotional is authority. Okay, so depending on what type of depending on what type of emotional wave you have, regardless of what emotional wave you have, actually, you're going to want to learn how to process emotions efficiently. And what I mean by process emotions efficiently is the ability to um, dance with the emotions and breaking down and looking crazy. Really, it's about getting the water out of your system. So if you're emotional about something, don't make a decision until you've cried enough or screamed enough or sweat enough. Peaceful, just Laura. Got you. Oh, wonderful. Great. It's good to associate the name with it. So in terms of you, Laura, you've got the 3457 and then you've also got the 4816. So for you, you're meant to empower, you're meant to really initiate health. So like you have to initiate either, that means either leaving or saying something like, hey, I like this doesn't feel healthy for me, and like claiming it for yourself. Like a manifesting generator, or a manifesting generator is one, you're a manifester with a defined sacral. In the sense that it's like, if it doesn't feel right for you, just say something and pulse whether or not the environment is going to respond to you or not. So saying something along the lines, this doesn't really feel healthy to me, or this doesn't really feel right to me, that's okay to say as a manifesting generator. It's not like you're breaking the rules because you're a generator first and you're supposed to wait to respond, wait for someone to ask you if it feels good. If it doesn't feel good for you, like, hey, I don't know if this really feels good for me. Actually, I'm sure it doesn't feel good for me. Are you guys open to changing? No? Okay, let me go somewhere else. That is one of the big things about your design, because it's like, even though you have the solar plexus definition, it's your sacral is going right into your identity center and right into your spleen. And the thing about being a manifesting generator as well is, like, you're gonna have to deal with rejection from yourself. Sometimes your gut is gonna take you somewhere and it's gonna be great, and then your gut, like 10 days later, is gonna be like, we don't like this place anymore. Okay, don't force yourself to stay there. Don't worry about being fickle or etc. Just like leave, and then when you leave, if you're like, I want to go back to that place, go back. So it's very much so about being able, as a manifesting generator as well. It's like, follow that sacral. Now, one thing that you are going to want to be really mindful of, and what's going to be a tell whether or not this is your mind or something important for you to listen to, is the type of touch that you get. If you get the right type of contact, you're going to feel seen, you're going to feel heard, you're going to feel like this community or this group of people is taking care of the people. That's going to be your signal. There's going to be a lot of things in terms of, like, does it look like other communities? Does it function well, etc. But it's really about, when you get contact, do you feel the contact? Does that make you feel safe? Does it make you feel provided for? Does it give you what you need? Couple that with your sacral and whether or not it feels healthy in your spleen or is sharpening your intuition. That's going to be your move. Hopefully that was helpful. Several manifestors I know have a very large number of different sexual partners in the thousands. Wait, what? I'm wondering if there is something about the closed aura that makes this a pattern. Interesting. I would say probably, and just with knowing the manifestors that I know, and the issues that they have. And again, this doesn't apply to all manifestors, but just the ones that I've been in contact with. I've seen that as well. Funny enough, I've seen a lot of the manifestors have a lot of sexual partners, or it's really hard for them to be with one sexual partner. And there's a lot of pressure on manifestors. I feel like that they don't know what to do with. And I also feel that, like, as a manifester, if someone likes you, it's really easy for you to like them back, even though you may not necessarily know if you like them or not. In other words, I don't think manifestors know how to hold boundaries well enough, and that may be one of the reasons why they have a lot of sexual partners. Best advice for a 5-1 reflector with an open throat, open solar plexus. It's a curse to have two centers totally open. Definitely not. It's such a blessing. It's such a blessing to have completely open centers. In terms of the solar plexus and throat, I would say, number one, come join the archive. Focus on the throat and the solar plexus in terms of your training. If you don't want to join the archive, that's totally fine. But find ways to strengthen your neck physically. Learn how to engorge your neck and your celiac ganglia. Connect the digastrix, which is right up here, and the pelvic floor together. So one thing you can do for that, one of my favorite techniques, put your fist right here, reach your head forward, bite down, take a smell. As you smell, push your chest up. Do that without arching your back. You have to be able to fill up your lungs in the front and drive your chin down while your chest drives up. And as you're smelling, pull your rectum up, swallow, blow a cool stream of air, slowly release the rectum, bite down harder, smell, drive the chest up, chin goes down, swallow. Imagine as though you're biting on a credit card, so you're not crunching your teeth. There's a little bit of space in between there, and you want your teeth to be growing towards each other. Smell, pull your butthole up, swallow, cool stream of air. Don't dump the pressure. Keep that going for like 10 cycles. That'll really help you. I'm in the archive. Yes. Wonderful. So then, yeah, 100% focus on throat exercises and solar plexus exercises, and then weaving them together. Like how I just did there, that's the throat exercise. The butthole breathing, I think you learned that in either the root class or the solar plexus class. But my best piece of advice is, like, recognize that it's only a curse if you don't develop it into the gift. If you don't learn how to strengthen your neck, if you don't learn how to strengthen your solar plexus and learn how to tolerate hard to swallow pills, learn how to tolerate high pressure, high heat, other people's emotions, definitely that's going to be your greatest gift to the world, is having the open throat, having the open solar plexus. Because having the open solar plexus in its epitome, if it's healthy, you're actually able to empathize with the people. You're actually able to say the words that they're unable to say. And the way that it would be healthy is if there's enough blood flowing to it, because blood is literally the first healer. When blood flow is restricted to an area, that part starts to atrophize. Blood is the filter. Blood is the thing that keeps us alive. And so sending blood to the throat, taking it away, sending it back, being able to talk, all of that dynamic is going to be so powerful. Dakota, my authority is emotional. Got it. So what's happening is, it's not your body and your soul that are fighting. It's your body seeking to release some kind of water, whether it's tears or spit or sweat. And you are probably resisting releasing that. Because the thing about solar plexus is, it's like a pressure cooker. And before you eat the food, you have to wait for it to cool down. And before you wait for it to cool down, you have to release the pressure, right? And so what's happening is, you're probably resisting being emotional as fuck about it, Dakota. So go somewhere, probably where you can be alone, and go, like, let yourself go crazy. Be like, you're an idiot for wanting to make this decision, blah, 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 blah. And you're a genius for wanting to make this. Like, let yourself just go crazy for a little bit. Go to the end of that emotional wave. Pick up any tears that you can expel. Spit, say whatever you need to say. After that, you'll probably have a lot more clarity about the decision that you have to make. And you also can't rush it. Sometimes it's like that needs to build up for a handful of days or weeks or even months for you to be able to crack yourself open for you to actually feel the truth. Like your emotions are using the pressure and the heat to crack the shell that you're using to protect yourself. So don't fight the cracking. Find a place where you can actually crack open and it's safe. By safe, I mean no one is going to witness you and judge you for it. It's not that it's too much for you. It's that you don't necessarily have the tolerance to be able to tolerate it, and that's why it might be too much for other people. So yeah, don't look for anybody else to come process it for you. Give yourself permission to be alone, give yourself permission to cry. And again, go over the edge. Let yourself crack. There's no, you know, um, police that are going to come through and be like, "Oh, you were way too emotional about this." Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Get down and dirty, exactly. Fucking convulse, like how you see people in medicine journeys, or you see people in breath work, how they're like, oh, oh, like shaking and stuff like that. Like physically what's happening is they're just like shaking off trauma. And if you look at deers or any animal after they're chased by a lion, the way that they get back into parasympathetic, let's see what's for dinner, after being chased, like, oh shit, I'm for dinner, the way they get back into what's for dinner is they shake. Daughter's open throat projector and she's dating ego manifestors, both 4-6. I've tried to give her advice about how to make the dynamic work, but it seems like the aura types are at odds. Yeah. Projector manifestor dynamic, it's a literal power struggle. It's a literal power struggle because it's like until the projector feels really recognized by the manifester, things aren't necessarily going to work. And the manifester might be recognizing the projector, but if the projector doesn't have the ability to recognize it. So again, the dynamic that is really at play is their relationship with themselves and whether or not they have a conceptual understanding of who they are or a somatic understanding of who they are. So what I would do as the mother of the projector is, and I didn't see what they are in terms of authority, but I would, if you can, if she's open, do some exercises with her that are going to help her strengthen her authority or strengthen her somatic connection with her authority. Because one of the reasons why she might be dating an ego manifester is because it gets her the kind of attention that she thinks she wants. I wish connection and interactions mostly get so awkward and misunderstood, like it makes me feel like a retreat in an island. Is that an add-on to... Is having a dormant gate to generate the need of connection and how to manage with hermit profile. So dormant gates, right, is when you have a hanging gate in an undefined center. Yeah, so it's like, you know, again, it's like learn how to tolerate the awkwardness. If you're being misunderstood, it might be because you're not speaking from a place of truth, that you're saying what you think you need to say. Let me know if I'm touching on the right thing. Spleen. Okay. So when it comes to spleen is kind of like a global system. And in the sense of the spleen is like walking, running, and throwing. The mechanics of the spleen are really helpful. Eye exercises and training the physical senses are super helpful. I would just do those things with her. Like, hey, hun, you want to do some weird eye exercises with me with these cool guys online? Yeah, great. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Blah, blah, blah. And you just like do those exercises with her. Stop trying to give the projector advice is what I would say. Yeah, stop trying to give the projector advice. Just ask her like, hey, will you do these exercises with me and let me know if you feel anything? Like give her a position of authority over you as a way of training with you. So then instead of you having to give her advice on stuff, she can actually resource advice from herself by training her senses. Because for splenic people, it's very much so about the smell, about what you see, about how you hear it, and about your physical capacity to run away from a situation or kick the thing in the face if it's dangerous. When Marco says go get crazy, cue slow motion superhero walking into the forest as the song goes, I get crazy plays in the background. Cha-Cha, I need these videos. I need you to make these videos and I need them on my feed immediately so I can repost them. So I did crack open but was not around someone I could trust. How can I help myself grieve this experience and move forward? It went real south. Yeah, it's, again, husband is a projector. Gotcha. I'm a 1-3 generator, but I think it may be undefined. I don't know what that means. Um, husband is a projector. Yeah. So Samantha, again, that's why I say go be alone and crack, because it's like you can't expect other people to tolerate things that you yourself cannot tolerate. And there are times in life when you will, like it actually happened to me a couple days ago or yesterday. I've been holding a lot as a father, as a business owner, for my partners and for my family. And yesterday I was in a business meeting with two of my partners, and I cracked. One of them asked me, like, Marco, what do you think about this? And I was like, honestly, bro, my brain is at capacity. I got this going on and this going on and this going on. And then I just started crying in front of them. And it was very unprofessional. And it was something that I sort of refused to do. I don't put my emotional stuff on other people. I take care of my own emotional stuff. But because I do that, now I'm around people that I can do that around. So you see how this works? It's not that human beings are meant to process their emotions alone. It's that until you take responsibility for the processing of your emotions alone, other people are not going to show up that can hold you. Because the people that can hold you are the people that are doing what you're doing, processing your emotions for yourself. This happened during the full moon for me. Oh yeah, it's and again, it's like it can be very tricky. These emotions are like not convenient at all. They're not designed to be convenient. They're designed to give you choices and force you to make decisions about what is a priority. Most people choose, and I'm a Scorpio, so trust is hard. Yeah. Yeah. And again, it's like there's a story about a scorpion. So a scorpion and a frog are sitting at a riverbank, and the scorpion says to the frog, "Hey, I want to get to the other side. Can I jump on your back?" And the frog goes, "No." The scorpion goes, "Why not? I'm a nice scorpion." The frog goes, "You're a scorpion. You're going to sting me as soon as I get halfway." And the scorpion goes, "No, no, no, no. You got to think about this. If I sting you, then I'm on your back and I'm going to drown too." And the frog thinks for a second and goes, "Ah, okay. Okay. All right. Fine. Hop on my back." Floating across the river. Halfway through, the scorpion stings the frog. And the frog goes, "Why did you sting me? You're going to die now." And the scorpion goes, "Dude, I'm a scorpion." And so they both go down together. So I allowed people to project on me, and I shouldn't have. Right. And you also got to take some responsibility. The reason I told that story is because you're unintentionally stinging the person that you want to hold you. Kind of what it means to be a Scorpio. The cry for help is simultaneously a sting. That's why it's better to process things alone. I did your 10-minute nervous system exercise. That was so profound, given how hard it was for me to calm. Chrysopia? Chrysopia. Well done, my friend. Hopefully you, I'm not going to project pride onto you, but you should feel very proud of yourself if you made it through that and it's hard for you to calm down. Like if you're the type of person that really does not do well with calming down and you were able to just sit there, look up, smell, swallow, and blow that cool stream of air, that's no small thing. And it's a very small step, and you could do that every day. And if you did that same exercise, and you can go back and watch my video, helps with the views. It's great. Thank you. But you don't need the video now that you know what to do. Do that for 28 days back to back without fail. Your life will change completely. I saw the emotion wheel, and there were so many emotions we have. Yeah, and also it's like there's feelings that we have that you can't put into words. Like, what do you call the grief of mourning a relationship that you don't want to be over, but the happiness and feeling of relief knowing that you don't have to like be this person's emotional punching bag anymore? How do you call that? What's the name for that? How do you deal with that? I don't know. I've definitely experienced it before. And that's the thing. It's like being in a fight. When you're in a fight, if you're thinking, you're getting knocked out because you're not paying attention to what's actually happening because you're thinking they're going to do this and they're going to do that. But if you're just calm and present, more likely than not, you're going to win the fight. Yeah, I did the practices, and then I was able to have a very deep meditation afterwards. Let's go. Let's go. It's easier to meditate when you pre-calm yourself down. Totally. I don't remember following you, but I like your topics. Keep going. Let's go. As a projector, it's hard not to share their opinion, especially when you see like potential in something. Yeah, as a projector, this is one of the things I feel like projectors struggle with the most. And they're like, how do I get around this? And I'm like, you don't. You learn to tolerate having advice and having watched people you love that are close to you that still can't recognize that you have good ideas. You have to learn how to tolerate that and not punish other people or yourself for it. There's no way around it. Like, you have to learn how to tolerate your own ideas and your own projections, because again, if someone doesn't ask you, don't tell them. That's not like a fundamental rule of the universe. It's just like, yo, if you don't know how to keep your mouth shut around people that don't acknowledge, recognize, and reciprocate your value, it's not a them issue. You're around them too much. You might not have been invited in the first place. Anyway, any suggestions for an undefined route with the hanging 52? I feel so stuck and also constant pressure all the time. So again, as I always keep mentioning, if you're not in the archive, get in the archive, do some root classes. But one of the things that you can do with the dormant 52 is go for walks. Like, whenever you feel stuck, just go for a walk. Even if you have to walk in circles, go for a walk. My husband is a projector. I love hearing his ideas, but he really struggles sharing his emotions. Yeah, makes sense. And also, I would say that when in terms of men and women, like this crash out that I had yesterday, I'm happy that it happened with my boys and my business partners as opposed to my romantic partner. You know, they say don't shit where you eat. Yeah, don't process your emotions on the bed that you fuck in. Um, Most people, in terms of their relationship, they turn their partner into their therapist, and they expect that. And again, each relationship is unique, and if you want a composite reading, I can look at the nuances of you guys' both body graph and tell you some strategies that you might want to imply or implement. But when it comes to me and my partner, our composite, we have the undefined solar plexus. That's the only center that's undefined in our composite. And when it comes to emotions, when she's emotional, I'm not trying to figure out what's going on. I'm literally just keeping myself calm. I'm watching that part of myself that wants to make jokes and makes light. I'm watching that part of myself that wants to fix. I'm watching that part of myself that wants her to be vulnerable and wants her to be better. And I'm holding it. I'm holding myself so that she can unravel and fall apart without any of my energy inflicting and being on her. And it's fucking hard. But it's worth it. Because she usually figures it out on her own. And then she comes to me, and it's like I don't even have to do anything. I just have to love her through it. Like right now, in terms of like sharing his emotions, love the part of him so much that is struggling to share his emotions, and however he's attempting to share his emotions, love him for that, because that's what you got. Conversations can go really deep, but we struggle being vulnerable at times. When we can, it's incredible. Being parents makes it hard to be at times, but it's worth it. Yeah, I get that. And again, being a parent, it's like one of the thing about relationships and conflict within relationships is, if you can get to the point where at least one of you recognizes, hey, we are on the same team. We want the best for these children. We want the best for children. We are on the same team. And regardless of what the other person is throwing at you, if you can just refuse to throw a stone back, you will be fine. This is great, where the mental ideas of human design are embodied in a relationship. 100%. 100%. Because again, it's like, why were we given separate bodies if we weren't meant to digest the food that goes into our mouth? Why were we given our own set of eyes if we weren't meant to see things from our own perspective? Why do we have two ears and one mouth? Because we're supposed to listen twice as much as we speak. And so with the amount that I speak, you best believe I do a lot of listening when I'm not talking on streams. I suffer from chronic panic attacks. Could this be because I'm a reflector? No, it's probably because your heart is weak. One of the ways that you can strengthen your heart, this is something that for me as a reflector has been so powerful, especially because there's this like pressure to prove myself as a reflector, that I'm a healthy reflector or that I'm a strong reflector or whatever. What you want to do is take your lungs, just do a normal inhale, make yourself big, expand your lungs. Okay, now exhale. Push all the air out, make yourself small, use your arms, brace yourself. Don't let yourself get big. Breathe in and let your lungs squish your heart. Put your heart under pressure. Swallow. Blow a cool stream of air. Don't dump the pressure. Keep the pressure on your heart. Smell again. Make it tighter in there. Pressurize your heart more. Swallow. That's the soothing mechanism. Cool stream of air. Don't dump the pressure. You should be inducing panic and soothing yourself. Smell. Swallow. Cool stream of air. If you're just watching me do this with me. Use your arms. Keep your ribs from inflating. Smell. Inflate your lungs inward. Pressurize your heart. Swallow. Soothe yourself. Blow a cool stream of air. Don't lose the pressure. One more time. Smell. Swallow. Cool stream of air. Now, release the pressure slowly. How did that feel? Any suggestions on better understanding my 2-4 projector self? Thanks. Totally. It's like a dichotomy, or how you say a hyperbole, oxymoron. Like you're a hermit opportunist. Doesn't mean you have to be super social. Doesn't mean you can't ever see people. But in order to feel significant, you need to be alone most of the time. In order to feel safe, you need to have a network of people that you can rely on. As a projector, you're probably going to spend at least a year and a half feeling super alone. And what you're doing there is you're cultivating an awareness of what it is that you actually offer and what it is that's really meaningful to you. And keep doing that. And again, I have a membership. Please come check it out, because that exercise that we just did, it's a heart exercise. It's supposed to give you an opportunity to put energy into something, to develop willpower without needing to prove yourself to other people. It's throwing away somebody else's measuring stick and picking up your own. Starting to measure yourself by what's appropriate for you, not by what other people say is valuable. And it's good that it was difficult. It should be difficult. One of your reasons you panic is because you don't believe that you can do things that are difficult. And so anytime something difficult or uncomfortable shows up, instead of being like, oh, I wonder if I'm going to be able to do this, you say, I can't do this. No, I can't do this. But some of those things you can't control. Most of those things you can't control. And so what do? You either take pills for the panic attacks, or you make yourself stronger. You develop willpower. That's what you do. Especially as a reflector, like, you have to develop willpower. And you can do it. Like, I promise you, as I was a very soft reflector at one point in my life, and I became very strong and robust. I'll be looking into taking your workshop. Yeah, it's just a membership. It's a community. So you go at your own pace. There's a super cool, just very, very sweet, wonderful community that you can introduce yourself to. And yes, there are replays of these. So all of my lives, if you go to my YouTube channel, there are replays of these. Willpower in an undefined will center. Thoughts. Yeah, it exists. It's like, that's the thing about an undefined center. Undefined doesn't mean you don't have it. It just means the energy there is less consistent. So, like, for instance, sometimes you won't have energy for something. Like, as a man, sometimes I don't have energy to do the dishes. And I can do the dishes out of a place of trying to prove myself that I'm a good partner and a good husband. Or I could resource it from somewhere else. Well, let's see, do my kidneys have energy? Nah. Do my feet have energy? Yeah. I could go do some feet exercises while I'm doing the dishes. So when you have an undefined center, right, it doesn't mean that it's weak. It means that it's going to be conditioned, or it's very easily conditioned. And being conditioned isn't bad. It's when you're not aware of the conditioning. So for instance, there's times when I'm like, oh, I have to do the dishes because, again, if I don't do the dishes, then it doesn't mean I don't have willpower and I'm not strong about it. Not really. It's more so about, I don't want my undefined root to be the subject of my partner's stress response because the dishes didn't get done. It's not about proving myself. It's about knowing myself and knowing my partner. That's knowing my internal authority, knowing the external authority. And this is how I use my mind. So my mind helps me to solve problems in the real world that are actually relevant to me rather than trying to solve other people's problems. And it does that because what's the problem when I'm doing this exercise? The problem is that I don't know what to do. What can I do? I can soothe myself. I can relax. Okay, great. It's still panicking. Okay, can you remain calm? Yeah, I guess. I'm panicking now. Can you remain calm? Can you go back to being calm? Yeah, okay, for a second. That's literally what it is. So it's just like, again, microdosing fear, microdosing anxiety, microdosing emotions. Yes, being a reflector is so fun. If you take it the way that I take it. Right, thank you. Honestly, I have been battling thoughts of making myself no longer IDK what to do. My friend, please come join this membership and find your willpower. Because as a reflector, I can totally relate. I've wanted to unalive myself a lot in my life, and it hasn't necessarily gone away. There have been times, especially like in being a dad, where I'm like, this is too much. I can't handle it. But I've been cultivating something different now. That's not like this spiritual fluff, everything is love and light kind of thing. It's the like, I'm here to fucking descend into my body, and I'm going to possess my body so that the demons of social media and all of this stuff can't. That's where your mentality should be, because we are entering a world of spiritual warfare, but nobody is strengthening their bodies. You need your body to fight the spiritual war. Thank you for your honesty. For me and for Raven. Yeah, and again, it's like a normal thing now that people don't want to be alive. And by normal, I mean it's like people are just taking medications as opposed to addressing the root cause of why you don't want to be alive, which is you don't love your body. It might be beautiful. Other people might say it's great. It might be fit, but if you don't actually love it and you don't love the world that you're in, it's impossible to love yourself. How could you? I mean, being such a powerful generator is fucking exhausting sometimes. So I feel, yeah, everyone gets exhausted. Everyone gets exhausted. You know, that's the thing about human design. It shows us like our limits, and it's important for us to acknowledge our limits, but then to push our limits. Like as a child, at one point you were limited by the fact that you couldn't walk around, and then what did you do? You learned to walk. How good did that feel? And this is where, again, a lot of spiritual, especially like new age pop spirituality diverges, manifestation theory, etc., law of attraction. Like sometimes you're trying to put yourself in a vibration that your body cannot make that vibration. Your physical body cannot make that vibration. That's why it's so important to strengthen the physical body. But it's also very hard to strengthen the physical body, and it's very easy to like lose touch. Man, how are we supposed to? Once I start talking about unaliving myself, TikTok tries to restrict me. It's like, do you know what I'm talking about, TikTok? No. I'm talking about not unaliving yourself. I'm talking about living. So ridiculous. Observer, power view, projector here. I don't know how I landed here being curious. What's up, Olga? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Power view. Power view. I have power view as well. So I'm not focused on my own wins and losses. I'm focused on who's winning around me. And one thing, everyone in the archive right now is winning hard as fuck. Like their faces are maturing, their senses are getting better, they're learning to love life more, their throats are getting stronger. It's awesome. They're all winning. And I'm in a great position to be that's my perspective, yeah. No, Raven, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Do something about it. Um, make your life worth living. And like I said, I have a whole membership where like everyone in there that's active, that's like engaging with the community and doing the courses and coming to lives, they're winning. And it's not because their lives are getting easier, it's because they're getting stronger. Yeah. So yes, I know I'm unique and I have a purpose on earth, and I keep trying to figure that out. Your purpose on earth as a reflector is to tolerate the craziness that is what we are in right now. It helped me so much to do with something else. Definitely need to do more of those. Vanessa, please do. I'm going to be making more of those for sure. I'll be checking out the membership. Yeah, and again, it's $37. Gamble the $37, please. If by the end of the month you're like, I did everything and I'm not doing it, I'll give you your money back or I'll help you more. Because again, you can't show up, do the exercises and not get benefit from it. When you're exhausted, you are not living by your strategy and authority. Not true, Tracy. Sometimes you're exhausted because you're living your strategy and authority and now you're out of energy. It's something that for generators, there's a difference between being exhausted due to satisfaction and exhausted because you didn't have energy in the first place. And it's helpful to know the difference between the two. Actually, it's imperative to know the difference between the two. Knowing when your sacral actually has energy something or one of your energy centers has energy for something, and when you're doing something because someone else wants you to have energy for something, knowing the difference, not from a mental view, but from a physical point of view. I can tell when I have energy because my friend has energy. And it doesn't mean that I don't do the thing. It means I get to choose. Am I going to operate off of somebody else's energy? Yes. At what point does this start to degrade me? Well, let's find out. Because I want to know what my limits are. And I'm not living in fear and using strategy and authority as a means of bypassing experiencing life. So, oh, that's it. Oh, yeah, we'll definitely have to try it out for that price then. Yeah, that's why we made it that price. $37. Like, again, you'll spend $37 on like a nice dinner by yourself if you have a drink even. Or dinner for two or lunch for two nowadays. $37 and you get a whole month. You get a whole month. Yeah, and again, just like, and if I were you, I would come in. I would do a new video every day as a reflector. I would just try and get through all of the pre-recorded videos in sensory design. Not as quickly as you can, but don't get hung up on like, oh, I don't know this, so I should go back. If you feel like your intuition is like, oh, I need to redo that class again tomorrow, do that. Learn to trust your inner authority. That's the whole point of it. As a reflector, we don't have any, which basically means we have to learn to trust all of the organs as an inner authority. I am my own battery. We generators can drain and replenish our own batteries. Yeah. And it's like, think about it. It's like if you're really tired and your friend calls you up and they're like, hey, do you want to go do this thing that you've been telling me that you've been wanting to do? I got tickets to go see this. Boom. You create the energy for it. Is it your friend's energy? Is it your energy? Does it matter? To the mind, it's like, oh, but I don't have energy. And again, so this is the thing where human design can kind of be a trap. Human design can kind of be a trap if you're trying to live according to your body graph as opposed to doing what your body graph is trying to do, which is teach you how to resource information from your physical organs. I'm a manifester. Can you please explain that one? Yeah, so manifester, you have one of the energy centers connected to your throat. So in terms of strategy, it's like you're here to initiate. You're here to learn how to deal with rejection and bring things into the world and find people that are excited genuinely to help you bring those things into the world. We all manifest by way of co-manifestation. No one is manifesting, even manifestors are not manifesting completely on their own. This is what I believe, at least. Any advice for a 4/6 projector? I'm 34 and very isolated. Well, if you got $37, risk it on a biscuit. Come check out my membership. I got you in the isolation. I live pretty deeply in isolation. I only have a handful of friends that I see regularly. And it's like we have a whole community online that I love. I love them so much. They're some of the coolest people in the world. And on top of that, again, all of the exercises in there are going to help you tolerate what is going on in the world right now. Which, like I said, if you're a reflector in 2025, your purpose in life is to figure out how to tolerate all of the crazy shit that's going on right now in the world. Yeah, any profile can become a powerful manifester. And we are all designed to manifest, but we all play different roles in manifesting. And depending on the thing, we may not play a role at all. Like some people are here to manifest war. Some people are here to manifest disease and famine. Which people? I don't know. You might spend your entire life building a sacred temple, and then a child is brought to that sacred temple, and because the rules at the temple are so oppressive, that child burns the temple to the ground. I don't fucking know. All I know is in the present moment, you either have energy for the thing or you don't. And if you follow the energy, like it typically will take you to the right place, even if the right place for you doesn't look like the right place to anyone else. Like, we're not going there because it's our destiny to save the world. People need to get out of that fucking crazy mentality, the savior complex. Like, I'm not on here to save people. I'm on here because for me to tolerate living in this world, I need more people to be able to tolerate the world with me. That's why I'm here. Because I don't want to be the only one tolerating the world with grace and a calm nervous system. I want other people to be able to do that too. And to be able to laugh about it, because it's crazy, guys. Life is wild. So anyway, that would be my advice, especially for reflectors, but everyone in general. Come check out the membership and see what we're about. Because once you see what we're about, it's going to be very clear. Oh, either I'm not about this, in which case, bye-bye, thank you. And if you are about this, great, we found each other. I feel it can really motivate others to bring light and love to their dreams. I love seeing the joy. We want to enjoy it and embrace it. Yes, yeah. Wild, yeah. What's a projector's purpose in 2025? Similar. Learn how to tolerate the world that we're in and get around people that are able to recognize and reciprocate your unique vision. Not necessarily they see the world the same way as you, but they appreciate that you see the world differently than they do. And again, everyone's purpose is to learn how to tolerate yourself so that you can find people that also can tolerate themselves so that you guys can enjoy life together. That's 100% the purpose of life, is to like like hold yourself down, not in like the suppress yourself, but like hold it down, descend into your body, inhabit every part of the tip of your fingernail and the left side of your shin. Learn to trust the mutations, learn to trust the sicknesses and illnesses that happen to you. Remember that, you're not here as some like victim in a prison cell. You can choose to believe that, but life is sucks. There's no hope. And the truth is that that's not why you're here. You're not here to be punished. Do you believe in karmic relationships, and do you believe you can truly heal those relationships? Yeah. I definitely believe in karma. I definitely believe in the momentum of energy, the genetic like we're watching one play out right now between Israel and Palestine. We're watching karma be cleared. Karma being cleared doesn't mean sitting around the fire singing kumbaya. It means continuing the cycle. And at some point, one of these people, or it's the new generations that decide, hey, you know what? We're not going to throw these stones. Because the reality is there's good people on both sides. There's bad people on both sides. Just got restricted there again. I'm going off today, guys. And it's not about choosing sides. It's being able to recognize who's standing in the truth of how do we break that karmic cycle, and who is so caught up in that karmic cycle that they don't think the cycle can break. It's messy. Karmic cycle is messy. But I don't think that we would still be here if we weren't continuing to break these cycles. How do we do that? You decide to stop throwing stones. Like, someone's going to throw a stone at you. Stop throwing stones. Don't throw stones back. It's like, this is my thing in relationship. It's like, if my partner is feeling emotional and she wants to beat me up emotionally, and especially as a man, it's like, my girlfriend wants to beat me up emotionally and I can't handle it. It's not because she's abusive. It's because I'm not strong enough to handle it. Because my partner is not abusive. Some people are. Most partners are not abusive, though. It's just like, you just don't know how to tolerate emotions. You don't know how to differentiate between someone projecting emotions onto you and you feeling something genuinely. Israel's committing genocide, though, big difference. And in terms of history, it's like the winners are the ones that write the history books. And I'm not saying that you can't trust history. What I'm saying is that for those of us that are not deeply entrenched in the part of it, Like each person is going to have their own unique way. Like what is activism, right? How do I look at activism? A lot of that, in my opinion, is like genuinely misused energy. People have dysregulated nervous systems. Asking people who have had generations of atrocities done to their families, they're saying, calm yourself down, stop throwing stones. Meanwhile, they're not regulating their nervous system. They're taking to the streets. They're saying, fight for peace, fight against the genocide. It's like, dude, one of the greatest genocides that's happening is us against ourselves. Is when you can't handle something, you then try to distract yourself instead of growing and becoming more robust. Because that's the only place of authority that you can ask people. It's like you're telling people to stop fighting and they start punching you, so you start fighting them back. You're not making peace. Most people are like that. Most people are like that. They don't actually have the authority to be able to tell people to calm down and regulate themselves. Yeah. That's how it is. Activism is very, very challenging because it's hard to know like what is the productive way. By against ourselves, I just mean ourselves. Mostly I mean the mind. Like the ego is not necessarily a bad guy. The ego is just the thing that automates stuff. And so when it comes to against ourselves, I mean, do we abandon ourselves and do we look for people to blame and do we look for ways to numb, or do we look for opportunities to go deeper with it? Like, for instance, if you're in an emotional wave, do you call a friend to vent, or do you sit, cover yourself with a blanket, put some sleep token on, and do shadow work, right? The other day, I thought about the saying, bringing a pew pew to a knife fight. I am someone who would bring a cake. A much better use of knives equals cutting cake. Right. Exactly. And again, it's like there's wonderful, beautiful people at these activism events, but they're vastly outnumbered by people who just want revenge, straight up. They want vindication. They don't actually care if it's vindication for them. They just want to see other people hurt so that other people can feel the pain that they felt. Aren't reflectors designed to let the universe speak through them? The feeling I get is that I talk to the universe and synchronicities follow. Yes and no. Like, again, as a reflector, it doesn't mean that you're some kind of like emotionless oracle that the world can speak through clearly. You and me, as a reflector, we have a lot of conditioning in our system as well. And so one of the benefits that we have is that conditioning, or the way that we're conditioned, oftentimes is like it's from multiple angles. It's not necessarily just from one thing or one person. Some do it for attention, yeah, for sure. A lot of people do stuff for attention. Doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's like, what else are you doing it for? Yes, facts. One of the greatest genocides is us against ourselves. Facts. Yeah. And again, that's the place where I'm like, if everyone stopped taking to the streets and they just faced the demons that are inside themselves, we would be taking to the streets for a vastly different thing. And if you're wondering why we're not taking to the streets for that thing, and what I mean by like that thing is like the fact that human beings are like actively destroying ecosystems and pillaging the planet and doing all this stuff to the world that we live in. As my daughter is over there crying. But I know we can't get to that point until we get to this point, which is how we're watching how we're taking from ourselves. How often do you give energy to someone that doesn't deserve your energy? Because you should. Yeah. No one sits with themselves. Yeah. Which is why I'm like, low key, guys, like, please make me viral. Now, it's not that I want to be viral, but like, I will sit on TikTok and just like be bored with people. And I've made a couple TikToks. Some of them are going like pretty wild. And I'm just like, literally, I'm like, hey, be bored with me. Like, look up, swallow, smell, blow the cool stream of air, like doing all these regulation techniques. Vid glitches every time you're about to drop a gem. I know, it's right that. It's like that. But also, I can't be here to give all the answers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys got to figure these out for yourselves. I created a community called the Archive that, to me, it's a high pressure, high heat container of truth. You can learn all of these techniques that I'm sharing with you from someone who, in my opinion, knows a lot more about this stuff than I do. And I know quite a bit. He knows a lot more than I do. He's one of my greatest teachers and probably my best friend. I say probably because I have quite a few friends that are like the best. Not that they're in competition with each other. But I have a membership. Please come join. Please come join. Like I'm not necessarily building an army, but in a way, it's like it's kind of like that. It's like I want people that are going to be able to like actually stand between two people that are fighting each other, to get punched a little bit, to get hurt a little bit, and to not start fighting those people. That's how I think we create peace. Genuinely. Because those people that are fighting each other, again, they just want the other person to understand the grief and the pain that they're feeling. And how is that going to happen? Well, you have people that can actually tolerate the grief and the pain that's not even theirs, that can stand in between them until they realize, oh my God, what am I doing? And I'm not saying I'm that person, because it takes more than one person. We've obviously seen that. You need to go vow because your wisdom is profound. Thanks, Forrest. Appreciate that. Makes me happy because I'm like, I at one point, and I tell you, I started, and I started my journey like a long time before like spirituality became a fad. It was like 2012. Like spirituality in the past like decade I've seen it just go. Everyone's into it now. But I remember when I was going to like Conscious Life Expo, and there weren't transformational festivals; there were just festivals. And you know, I remember going to all these things, and it's like I was the youngest dude there. I was like 19, 20 years old. I was the youngest guy there, and it was literally people my mom's age. Not a lot of men, and if there were men there, they weren't like, they didn't have arms like this. They were like old, fragile, kind of like weak, frail men, and women that were like sick of their husband. But now there's like so many more people, and there's young people, and this is amazing. And so I've seen this industry skyrocket. I've seen it get hijacked by so many people that are just trying to monetize their own healing process. And now I'm awake and I'm up and I'm sick of it, and I'm here to drop. I'm here to drop the nuggets. I'm here to drop the nuggets. I'm here to bring cakes to fights. Because the reality, and I did train martial arts, so the reality is I could probably use a knife better than most people. So anyway, power of the internet. I know, right? We need to bring love. Only love can heal the sorrow. Yep. It's about all of us. We are one, and it is about your relationship with yourself. Hi, Marco. I'd love to hear from you about your experience of your signature and not self theme. Yeah, so I've been disappointed a lot in my life, mostly with other people. And that disappointment has led me back to myself and realizing like, why did I spend so much time around this person? Why did I put so much energy into this person's thing? And the reality is I've learned that the not self theme is one of your best friends, because the not self theme, if you use it properly, lets you know exactly where you need to make adjustments in order to come back into alignment, come back into, for me, surprise. Like as a reflector, I've been surprised in the sense that like I've this is kind of confusing. In my disappointment, I was surprised at times, but then when I really reflected on it, not surprised at all. Like, are you surprised that one of your best friends abandoned friendship for business? That was such a shock. Are you actually surprised though? Were there signs? Yeah, there were signs. Did I choose to ignore them? Yeah, I chose to ignore them. Why? Because I didn't think my friend was strong enough to handle the truth. Why? Because I shared the truth a little bit and I got some pushback and I didn't want to be that guy. Why? So I've done a lot of that, and it's it's led me to a place now where I don't suppress those things that I see anymore. Like I took the blinders off and I continuously accept that maybe I have blinders on right now, and let me see if I can take them off. So I have groups of people around me now that I reflect with, that I'm like, hey, can you help me take the blinders off here? Literally the reason I crashed out the other day, because I was like, I think I have blinders on. And my friends were like, no, you don't. And I'm like, no, I have blinders on. Like, something's going to sideswipe me. And they're like, Marco, you don't have blinders on. Trust us. Like, you're doing great. I'm like, no, I need to be doing more. And they're like, Marco, shut the fuck up, bro. Look what you built. It was really touching. And it was really unique because I've seen so many people crash out because they didn't take the blinders off. And here I am crashing out because I don't have blinders on. And my friends are telling me you don't have blinders on, but I think I have blinders on. So, anyway, the level of joy and acceptance that I feel from my friends it literally makes me hurt inside because I don't know how I don't know what I did in a past life that would make me so deserving of such wonderful, sweet, loving, kind, and sharp people. These are sharp individuals. Not self theme of bitterness is your insight. Yeah, bitterness. It's the taste in your mouth. It's the not being able to take the I want to say this and swallow it and realize like I'm around the wrong people. I'm making poor choices. Success is so much about again um, defining what success is to you. What part of you needs to be recognized, and it's not just your channels, it's also your openness. Like if you have an undefined solar plexus and you have a friend that doesn't recognize like, hey, I really am grateful for your ability to like feel what I'm feeling. That's really special. Like I can tell you're not just sympathizing with me, I can tell what I'm going through is actually hurting you, and I know it's hurting you, but thank you for feeling hurt with me. They don't say something to that effect, or they're not able to reciprocate that. Maybe they're buying you gifts. Maybe they're doing things to reciprocate. Like learn how to identify the reciprocation and learn how to identify recognition outside of your scope of recognition. Love languages are dangerous, I think. Because if your love language is physical touch, maybe you don't get gifts. And the reality is we all have all the love languages. You have your preferences, but your preferences are decided by your conditioning, not what you actually feel. Most people don't actually know how to feel, and they resort to thinking. And watch it. Watch the way people talk. What do you want to do today? Oh, I think I want to do this. Well, how do you feel? I feel. I don't really know how I feel, but I think I want to do this. I think that'd be fun. People say I think so much. It's so unconscious. That's beautiful. But that doubt is an old pattern. You're developing a new pattern. Trust that. Yeah, and that gratitude, 100%. I've been feeling that so much, and it was wild too, because like I had resistance towards like cracking in front of my friends because again, when emotions bubble up, I run to my little cave and I process my own emotions, and I believe I do it in a healthy way. And there are times when certain emotions that can't crack unless they're being witnessed. Hello, hello, bus dwelling friends. So okay, the not self theme is connected to the signature. I didn't get it. Yeah. So not self theme is like the thermometer or the thermometer on your thermostat that says, "Oh, you left the door open. Now the temperature is fluctuating." It's the thing that's like letting you know, "Hey, it's the pain. It's the your body has pain as a barometer for when something needs attention. Like if your foot hurts or you feel a weird sensation over here. Like you don't feel your eye until something is inside your eye, obstructing your vision or hurting you. The pain is like a, hey, don't ignore this. Don't ignore this. And so a lot of people just ignore their frustration or they ignore their bitterness, but it has a lot of information for you and you can be grateful. Thank you, bitter Alice, for letting me know that these people don't know how to reciprocate. And thank you, bitter Alice, for letting me know that I'm choosing to be around these people and that I'm afraid to step away from these people because of the status they give me or because they recognize me in this way. Because recognize survival mechanism, your conditioning, your trauma responses, they're trying to keep you safe. They're trying to keep you safe. They're trying to protect you from things that have hurt you in the past. And so if you don't grow at all, then your trauma responses make sense. But if you do grow, then they no longer make sense. They're no longer necessary. Because the part of you that is weak and vulnerable to that thing, you've learned, hopefully, if you're growing. And now you're not weak to it anymore. So when you feel better, it ain't for you, or you need to reassess, and do the shadow work. Gratitude helps me. Yeah. Yep, exactly. All right, guys. It's about that time. It's 11:09. You guys got 9 extra minutes out of me. I usually stop before 11 a.m. But anyway, this one was pretty out of pocket. I got a lot of restrictions, which kind of feels good. I am a 3-5, so here to be that heretic. If you guys enjoyed this, please follow me on some of the platforms. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. Check out some of my videos. Thank you so much was listening. Yes. Thank you for all the people that were just quiet and listening and observing. Thank you. Hopefully, again, that you don't see me as some kind of teacher. I got wisdom to share, but I'm not your teacher. I'm just another learner, another student here in life with you. Hopefully, I stress you out or inspire you enough that you're going to come join my membership and see what is backing, what is fueling all of this wisdom, because this is genuinely, I didn't necessarily get these from a podcast. This is my organs talking to me. And so your organs have equally appropriate wisdom that can come out of your mouth and spill out of your mouth like a waterfall if you take the time to connect with them. And our membership is all about helping you connect with your organs while also helping you connect with people who have appropriate authorities in certain fields. Like the guy that I built the archive with and that we work together with, his name is Pasha. He's literally helped people with scoliosis, people who were scheduled to go into surgery for their spinal issues. He's helped them with that, helped them get out of wheelchairs. People who said, oh, you're not going to ever walk again. He's helped them walk again. And so in the same way, I've helped people who had, how you say, life crushing anxiety, depression, help pull them out of all alcoholism, addiction, all kind of stuff, pulled them out of it. I didn't do it. We showed them, me and Pasha, we showed them how to rely on themselves, and they did it for themselves. So again, if that's something that you're interested in, the membership is $37. Come check it out. See if I'm full of shit. Or see if we've got the fucking magic and the sauce and we can like share this with the world. So anyway, love you guys. People who have been here before, you know how it is. I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. So I'll see you Friday. Please come check out the archive. Come check out Sensory Design. Come see what we're doing. We're bridging the gap between human design and books and a system and your physical body. We're combining human design with kinesiology, with biomechanics, with functional training, and it's going to blow your mind. It's so simple, but it's so beautiful and profound. It'll give you a true sense of inner authority, and it'll give you a clear read on what is actually going on externally, what the external authority is actually doing. I also do one-on-one sessions. I do couple readings. I have reports, $20 for the report, super easy or super affordable. Again, incredibly overwhelming. There's a lot of information there, so take your time. You're not going to understand human design in a day. It took me many years to fully understand it, and there's still more questions than there are answers. And then the last thing, I have an app, Neutrino Design, if you guys want to use a really, really good app. Done a lot of that too. Told myself I was blindsided when my husband abandoned us for his mistress and their kids while he lived a double life. I refused to see. Yep. That was fire. Forrest, much love to you, my friend. How much is the couple read? I think it's like $263, something like that. If you just go to the link in my bio, you can see my availability and you can see my my prices for everything. And also, again, it's like in the archive. Like if you want a couple reading, like start with the archive. Join the archive, post your composite, ask, see what you can find in there. And if you want to come to me, again, I have a price on my time because when I'm not doing this, I'm doing other stuff like spending time with my family, like taking care of my body, my mental, emotional, spiritual health, climbing trees, basically, making music, doing all the back end stuff for the archive, developing, like we're developing. This is a system that has been underdeveloped in the recent decades and generations. And so we're reawakening the descending process, not ascending, not transcending, descending into your body. So if you want to descend with us, we need more feet on the ground. So please help us by putting your feet on the ground. And yeah, that's it. So I'll see you guys next Friday. And that's pretty much it. Okay. Love you guys. Peace. Thanks for hanging out. Bless me.